some clothing. And I think now I'm ready to start getting into adding some color. And I want to show you guys some of the things that we're going to use for color for this. You can see this color structure is black, white, and gray. And what I used to create the value here is I used 2 colored pencils and a China marker. The China marker is a waxy pencil. You'll see that the black and the white colored pencils are going to give you lots of really nice value. You can even blend them together. And then the China marker I used for the really strong white highlights in here, like the eyeballs I colored with the China marker because that gave me that really thick, rich white color. And then if you look in my hair, I went back in with the China marker and I also added some highlights of gray in my hair just to kind of make me look a little more creepy. So this is how we're going to do this. We're going to play with some value today. And when we play with our value on our portrait, you want to think about the classic Tim Burton values. I made my part more on the side here because that's more who I am, but this is fine for our example. So I'm going to start with the eyes because Tim Burton eyes are so classic. I went in and structurally I added a nice dark line for the outline of my eye. I added in my eyelid, but then I started using my black to add some really fun shading in here. And I started right up against that black line and started nice and dark and went around the outside a bunch of times to give myself some nice dark sullen rings around my eyes because that is a classic Tim Burton kind of thing. And then I start to pull it out a little bit. And as I pull the black out from the eye, I'm getting lighter with my touch. And that's giving me that really nice black to gray value and tone as I add to the structure of my eye here. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit to my nose while I'm right here, just so you guys can see how I did my nose. So I outlined my nose with the black, but I also went in later with my white and added some highlight, and I'll go back in and do that in a minute. The next thing that I did was I went in and I added my nice dark circle to my eye. And now I'm going to take my China marker, and the China marker, like I said, it's a waxy pencil, and it creates this really thick white. It's different than a crayon, you guys will see, but it gives you this solid white color. And you just want to kind of color in a circular pattern because that'll give you that really nice smooth finish as you go around the inside of your eyeball. There we go. And you really want those eyes to stand out. And you can see, like, it gives it that really creepy, bright white color. Okay. So there's one eye. And I can always go back in and add more value as I go. And I can go in, and the nice thing on this gray paper is I've got this really nice highlight on my nose. So I'm actually going to take my white colored pencil and go ahead right in there and add that highlight that's on my nose and kind of goes up and spreads across my forehead here. So you can add light areas and dark areas. My cheekbones are definitely going to catch some light here. So I'm going to go right in under that dark eye. And I'm going to add a nice white cheekbone. Okay. And then under the white cheekbone, if you can see here, just to make my cheeks look more sullen, I actually grabbed the edge here and kind of pulled that in and added some dark values in here. And that's going to make that really stand out. Okay, so I've got that really nice white highlight here. And then I've got that really dark undertone here. So you can see I really just kind of play with these 3 pencils to create some really beautiful value in my portrait. Um, and as you work it, like you'll find, like I'm already looking at this portrait and I'm like, ooh, I could go back in and I could darken this part of the lip and add a little more white here to make it really pop. And you can just keep working it and making the lights lighter and the darks darker and using that gray paper. And you will come up with a beautiful portrait. Guys, have a great time with this. We can't wait to see what you create.